of the time they're called to the scene, so they're arriving after the crash took place.
Now, as a consumer driving around out there, most folks have have a camera on their phone, and of course, most times I've heard attorneys encourage you to get as much video evidence as you can if you feel like you've been the victim here.
Absolutely. I mean, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And so, people, if you're explaining the facts of an accident and you have pictures to support that, it starts to become reasonable and make sense in the eyes of potential jurors that you have out there. And, of course, that's how I look at things is, okay, well, if you're going to have to try this case in front of a jury one day, what would you want them to see or hear? And so, obviously, the more pictures that we have, pictures depicting skid marks, where on the vehicle did the damage occur? What was the positioning of the vehicles once the impact was finished and so forth. Those are all critical points that come up a lot, and especially when we have like accident reconstructionists and stuff like that will come out, and they're actually engineers that try to break down how this accident happened and tell you how these injuries occurred with the specified G-force and all that, So there's a whole bunch of factors that go into that. So obviously, the more photographs and physical evidence that you have, the better it is for us to do our job.
Millie, have you ever had a client who was involved in an accident and had they did the right thing? They were the victim. They were hit by somebody else, but there just wasn't a verdict, a potential collection of money in litigation that made it worthwhile. It occurs to me that most people feel like I'm the victim, I was hit. But have you ever had an instance where you just had to advise the client their insurance isn't correct or there's a problem? This is a waste of time and effort, even though I understand you feel like you want to be vindicated.
Yes, so I had a client one time many years ago that had such a severe head injury. She was in a halo. And unfortunately, the other person that hit her only had $10,000 in bodily injury liability coverage, and she had no uninsured motorist coverage on her policy. So we had, and the guy that hit her was virtually uncollectible. In other words, if you got a judgment against him, let's say for $3 million, there's no way on earth you'd be able to collect it because the guy didn't have any assets, okay, or any collectible assets. I mean, we are a homestead state. So, but be that as it may, unfortunately, it happens a lot simply because there's no minimum requirement that you carry bodily injury liability coverage in the state of Florida. There's only two required coverages, which are PIP, personal injury protection, and property damage coverage. So bodily injury isn't required. So, yes, you may get hit by the Coca-Cola truck and, you've got plenty of insurance to deal with, or you may get hit by the guy that's got, cars are a special of the week and has no coverage, So that's why it's so important. And I always tell my clients, please obtain uninsured motorist coverage on your vehicle and on yourself so that if you are injured as a result of somebody else's negligence, that there's a mechanism for recovery.
Boy, I tell you, just from driving around, it's my guess that there's a lot of uninsured motorists out there that we just don't know about. There's plenty of folks on the road. Years ago, they did away with the vehicle inspection. I don't know if you recall, there used to be an actual time when you'd have to get your vehicle inspected in the state of Florida. And once that went away, you started to see people driving all kinds of things that you'd never see on the road before. And it occurs to me that I bet a lot of these people don't even have a driver's license.
That is correct. It happens every day of the week. You only have to have proof of insurance when you're going to get your registration. Other than that, once you obtain that, you can cancel your policy tomorrow. And what happens are people will put down the first payment on their policy and then they won't pay the subsequent bills. So now they're uninsured and they're happily driving along the, roads of the state of Florida. So innocent bystanders that have accidents with them, they're out of luck unless they have uninsured motorist coverage. So I always tell clients, again, don't trust that you're going to be hit by the Coca-Cola truck.
Right.
Assume that you're going to be hit by the guy that doesn't have any insurance and protect yourself accordingly.
That is great advice. Thank you so much, Millie. Millie, once again, what's your contact information for listeners out there?
Yes, it's 1-833-ASK, A-S-K, Millie, M-I-L-L-Y.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Millie, and drive safely out there.
All right. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Take care.
Coming up, we got Jennie Restrepo from Insured Title Agency. We're going to talk a little bit about what you need to do to protect your largest asset. And I told you a little about this teen who overcame brain surgery. Really cool story in our feel-good section. This guy went through brain surgery, used the game of chess to kind of rehabilitate himself and get himself back to full strength. So a great story about a teenage kid who overcame cancer. Don't go anywhere. Check us out online at consumerqb.com. The Consumer Quarterback Show rolls on.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Five, four, three, two, one. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right, consumerqb.com, a great resource for you out there. You want to meet our expert contributors, you want to meet our sponsors, you want to hear them, watch the shows. It's all there at consumerqb.com and our YouTube channel. That's the real one. I want to advise you to check out our YouTube channel. Tons of great videos there. You can watch the show. You can meet our experts. You can see all the little different clips that we've pulled for those guys. So really great resource, our YouTube channel. And we're growing every day with that. So please check us out online. Here's a great sponsor for this section. It's Replenish IV Solutions. You know, Steve and Lisa Gunnan own Replenish IV Solutions. They've been with the show for more than 5 or 6 years now. They're a really cool business concept. Everyone's worried about their immune system. Well, these guys give you an IV infused drip with minerals and vitamins to get your immune system really cranked up to full speed. So everyone's concerned about their health, and Replenish IV Solutions offers you a great way to take an action to improve your health. They can come to your business or your home, or you can go to one of their couple of locations. Check them out, Replenish IV Solutions. And of course, we mentioned Brandon and the Platinum MVP team. He has some real estate opportunities for you, even in this time of real estate scarcity. Johnny, why don't you put one up on the screen? Let's see what we got here. We're going to take a look at some properties. Here's one in Tampa. Again, 14663 Village Glen. This is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, about 2,000 square feet in the Carrollwood Village area. Gorgeous and completely renovated. Outdoor pool and kitchens. Got a lanai and outdoor shower. Master bath features jacuzzi, tub, sauna, and a tanning bed. That's a bit of a throwback. How about that? Gourmet-style kitchen was designed by a local restaurateur. That is a really impressive property. 14663 Village Glen Drive in Tampa. What else you got, John? Let's look at another one. Here's something in Hudson. Wow, 30 acres. So if you're looking to build 9221 New York Ave in Hudson, 30 prime acres located in an opportunity zone, currently zoning AR, SFR, MH, attention builders and entrepreneurs. This is a great investment opportunity. Again, 30 prime acres in Hudson, 9221 New York Ave. So Brandon's got some great property to look at. You can see it online at consumerqb.com or get in touch with the Platinum MV team directly. All right, joining us right here in our Salem Media Group studios, Jennie Restrepo. She's been on before. Jennie, I got to tell you, I didn't know anything about this. Kevin, you guys, I came in, did the show years ago, and I thought, is this real? Can they really steal my house? He used to tell this great story about him saying to someone, hey, you be careful. Someone can steal your house. I got a shotgun. He said, I got a shotgun. I'll sit right in the porch with my shotgun. He said, well, sure. I don't think that's going to help.
It seems like a preposterous concept.
Right.
I live in my house. Clearly, no one can steal my house. I have title insurance. I have homeowners insurance. I have my shotgun.
Right.
I have a home security system. The idea of it doesn't seem real because, of course, it's not as prevalent as other theft.
Mm-hmm.
Your car is sitting in the driveway. Clearly, someone can break into your car, steal your car, and then it's gone. What do? Then you call the police. You report it missing.
That's right.
If it's not recovered, you make an insurance claim. It's all very straightforward as to this crime can happen, it has happened, and then this is what you do to fix it. Home title theft is part of that new wild west of crimes where these cyber criminals are getting very crafty. When COVID drove us all back into our houses, the criminals didn't stop criming. They just became more ingenious about how to commit their crimes from their armchairs in their living rooms.
That's right.
And that is why home title theft is on the rise. Kevin was always full of stories, and I've researched many stories. So I think the proof is in the pudding. Don't take my word for it.
Right.
There are multiple stories, not just here in the Tampa Bay area, but throughout the state of Florida. One that really stuck with me was this woman who inherited a home from her parents. Her parents were deceased. She lived in the home. It was titled to her. She was paying the property taxes, basically doing everything right. And somebody came along and thought that she was easy prey, created a fake deed, electronically recorded it, stole the home from her, waited a little while, resold the home to an unsuspecting third-party investment group who thought they were buying from the rightful owners. And then that third party evicted this woman from her own home.
Unbelievable story. It's real, though, and it's happened in our area. You know, because of our popularity in the real estate market, this area constantly has deals going on. There's lots of real estate transactions. I've been a homeowner, I've never once looked at my deed or gone back and checked my paperwork. It's something that most people have no idea even exists, much less how to navigate that kind of paperwork because it's very detailed.
It is, and so we have this great thing in the state of Florida called our Sunshine Laws. And the Sunshine Laws were designed to give transparency to certain processes and actually make it better for consumers. But as this information is available to you, homeowner, it is also available to the criminals. And basically, you need to be aware of what is going on. So if you don't know where to go, or how to look up your title, or especially if you've lived in your home for quite a long time without a transfer of ownership, give us a call at Insured Title Agency. We will help walk you through how to check your title, what exactly you need to do, and then how to protect yourself. Because one thing that people don't understand, we were talking about car insurance.
Right.
Title insurance is the only type of insurance that protects you from the past and not from the future.
Let me think about that for a minute. So if someone had done something in the past that it invalidated or made a correction or an incorrection on my paperwork, that insurance would then say, hey, you're okay, you're covered.
A title claim would be if something was done incorrectly in the past in what we call chain of title. Okay. So from the moment that the first recording of your home existed until present day, however many times the property has changed ownership, that was an opportunity for a mistake. We are human. People do the paperwork. And if the rightful owner and what most of the time happens, all of the rightful owners were not accounted for in some sort of chain of title, someone could come out of the woodwork and say, James, I own part of your home. Right. And then you're left saying, well, no, I own my home. And then what do you do? And so title insurance protects you from errors in the past that could affect your home ownership rights in the present.
Well, you mentioned the Sunshine Laws, and of course, I was a member of the media for years, and I thought, well, how great is this that we can go down to the courthouse and look things up? But in this age of information and with the internet the way it is, it seems like those folks that have really taken the time to educate themselves on how to use these digital resources are not always the ones you want getting into your business. So you've got to learn, even though you don't want to, or maybe you don't think you should, because the criminal can, you need to now take an active role in protecting yourself because they're taking a role in perhaps getting your largest single asset.
I look at it like, think of identity theft. When identity theft first started happening, people said, well, you can't be me because I am me. And lo and behold, this they can. And now it happens. But because it's so prevalent and has happened, there's resources to protect yourself. Now people understand, yes, it is a thing. You know someone, if it hasn't happened to you, you know someone who it's happened to. And the power is in the belief, right? Something like this, you want to be ahead of the curve of the crime, because what's the biggest issue when a crime is committed against you? If there's not a standard way to resolve said crime, then what? Mm-hmm. So if someone steals your house, who do you call?
Right.
You call 911?
Right.
No. And unfortunately, lawmakers are a little bit behind the gun on this. So I don't know. Working for a title company, I do not know who you call. I've seen the story play out in lots of different ways, but you do not have a title claim. Because in your tenure of ownership, your title insurance policy doesn't protect you from someone taking it from you. Mm-hmm. In fact, in the situation when I first spoke about the woman who was evicted from her home by the third party, that third party had a title claim because they obtained the house and there was a tag of ownership or an erroneous deed in chain of title in their purchase, not in hers.
Wow. All right, we're going to come into a break in a little while. Before we do, I just talk a little bit about insured title agencies' ability to thwart this kind of thing or make it much more difficult without you to know what's going on.
So Insured Title Agency, the main thing that we do is when you purchase your home, we're very thorough. Our title manager, Matt Findell, is amazing. So the likelihood of having a title claim if you are closing with us is very, 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 very low. I can't say it's 100%. Okay. But we really dig in on the chain of title. And if there's anything, even if it's not in this most recent transfer, but in the way back, we address it, try to correct it, figure out what the issue is so that you feel a high level of confidence that you are protected. And of course, we issue an owner's policy with every closing. Mm-hmm. That's what Insured Title Agency does. Now, I've told stories on the show before where what happens if there is an issue that's preventing this current seller from selling. This is the transaction that we're dealing with right now. Well, if it can be fixed, we will do everything in our power possible to help fix it, even if it's not something that happened at our office or happened during a closing that we handled, because we want this transaction to be able to move forward for both parties.
Gotcha. So it can be, I imagine, very detailed. And again, this kind of paperwork, you just don't get exposed to it very often in your, of course, your regular day. So it's not something you have experience with.
Well, you don't, but we do. This is what we do.
This is why I say to people, I know doctors, lawyers, people that are really geniuses, but specific paperwork, unless you do it, you don't know exactly how to file it, when to file it, who to file it with. All that stuff is critical as far as getting covered.
It is. So stay in your lane. Right. If you're a doctor, I'm not going to do surgery on you. Well, I'm not an attorney, so like Millie, I will leave all the legal things to her. But let the title company be the expert that you can rely on, your trusted partner that you can go to with your questions. Mm-hmm. We welcome questions. We're here. That's why we come on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're consumer advocates as well. Right. If anything that I've said sparks a question mark for you, I encourage you to call us, visit our website. It has a lot of resources on there. That's insured-title.com. Lots of resources, FAQs, terminology. Follow us on social media. So on Instagram, we're at Insured Title Agency. I post title terms every Thursday to explain what do these words mean. But as James mentioned, you're not doing these transactions all of the time, but we are.
That's
so
good.
Allow us to help you. Give us a call. It's 813-855-3585. We welcome all of the questions because we want homeowners to feel confident that nothing bad is happening in your property.
That's right. We're coming into a break right now. When we come back, Jennie's going to come back with us. Plus, I've got that story I've been teasing about the teen who becomes a chess master after brain surgery. Don't go anywhere. This is the Consumer Quarterback.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the Real Estate Quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. Any of our listeners out there, we'll offer you a 2% listing for the first 3 callers that reach out to the hotline, 813-917-1894. Call or text the hotline 813-917-1894. Also, a great opportunity for folks out there looking for a part-time gig, maybe a side hustle, is Keller Williams Real Estate School, powered by Kaplan. Reach out if you'd like more information on how we have a free real estate school for you, online class, get licensed, and start referring business in, or maybe make a new career. 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com for our syndicated radio and TV show on 80 outlets worldwide, consumerqb.com, or our real estate website at platinummvpteam.kw.com. That's platinummvpteam.kw.com. And please follow us online at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, Twitter, Getter, and check out our YouTube channel, Brandon Rhymes Realty. Make it a great day.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
That's right. Give Brandon a call if you want to hear anything about the properties you hear pitched on the Consumer Quarterback Show, or maybe one of our great sponsors or expert contributors who take time out of their day to provide some information for you. Let's take a look at this sponsor for this segment is Brothers Easy Moving. You know, if you need a moving company, these are the guys for you. Brothers Easy Moving. Tons of 5-star reviews online, local or long distance. They do it all. These guys moved Brandon into his new place. They became the official moving sponsor that night. They were working way after dark, so we know these guys are great people. Get in touch with Brothers Easy Moving. Local or long distance, all your moves, they're the ones for you. And we're going to take a look at our last property of the show, another property from the Keller Williams team. You know, Brandon owns the Platinum MVP team. Let's take a look at what we got up here for another real estate opportunity. Here, this one's in Seminole, 14626 Loredon Drive. This is a 2-bedroom, 3-bath, about 1,300 square feet, double master layout, waterfront dock, fast access to the Gulf, 5-minute drive to Indian Shores and Indian Rocks Beach, great views of the Intercoastal Waterway, and the HOA covers the heated pool, tennis court, landscaping, water, and trash. So get in touch with Brandon if you want to get into the Seminole area. He's got a great opportunity at 14626 Loredon Drive, number 14. Okay, I've been teasing this story about this young man, Griffin McConnell, who started playing chess when he was a kid, and he found out it had a great impact on his life, and I'll tell you a little bit about his story. A 17-year-old from Golden, Colorado, is now a national chess master just 1 year after undergoing his 4th brain surgery. So Griffin's medical journey has included intense procedures to help treat severe seizures and a disease that disconnected the left side of his brain. Through many uncertainties, Griffin's love of chess remained. He said the teen had to relearn how to walk, talk, speak, and he wanted to play chess again. So it's been a hard process of learning how to walk and learning how to talk, he said. Also learning how to redo chess, and it takes a lot of learning and a lot of patience to do that all again, Griffin said. Chess for me is so complicated, like everything. It feels like it's a new game, new territory every single time. And for me, it was just kind of a way of increasing my thinking skills, try to put a task, if you will, and finding what is the best way possible in every single game. So Griffin's father, Kevin, said he taught his son how to play chess, and he said the game has meant even more since his child became sick. He said it was a huge fun thing at first, but when Griffin got sick, it became a lot more. Even the doctors at Children's Hospital said that they felt playing chess played a bit of a role in Griffin relearning the functions in his other hemisphere. So what's interesting is after the surgery, which was in February of last year, the doctor said it's going to be about 6 months until he can get kind of back to baseline. But in September, he became a national master, which is a super, super fast climb. I mean, it's been a long journey, but he's so super inspiring. His dad said it's been hard to sweat all the small things. And again, through it all, Griffin had a dream to become a national master and determination to make it happen. Now the 17-year-old is using his experience to pay it forward. Together, Griffin and his father have started a nonprofit organization, provides children and young adults with disabilities the opportunity to compete against peers based on age, grade, and chess rating. So a great way to pay it forward, a great story about a kid who overcame adversity, and that's what we want to do on the Consumer Quarterback Show is inject some positivity into your day and try to brighten things up a little bit. Now, Jennie Restrepo here in our Salem Media Group studios has been talking all about Insured Title Agency and what they can do to help you, because all the way back from Abe Lincoln's day to the present day right here in Ybor City, where we had tons of this go on, this is something that people have been doing for a long time, and you need to know how to protect your largest single asset. Your house is really the biggest thing you own.
For most people, it absolutely is,
Yeah.
and your home symbolizes the opportunity to grow generational wealth for your family. And of course, you want to protect that. So you're doing all of the things that you think that you need to do, having homeowners insurance, doing regular maintenance on your home. The last thing that you're thinking about is that someone could steal my house because it's attached to the ground. And yes, it is possible. And basically, knowledge is power. If you're not sure how, because it's a little bit, I can't give you the step-by-step for every single person in the greater Tampa Bay area because it differs by county.
Sure.
But that's why I say, give us a call. If you're concerned about it, we'll take a quick look, make sure that everything's good, and then let you know what you can do to stay on top of that.
Because education, like you said, is the key. And to that end, you've got an event coming up. I want to talk a little bit about this event, and this provides a little opportunity for folks out there to learn some more.
Absolutely. So I think in the earlier segment, you were talking to Millie about all the influx of people that are moving to the state of Florida.
Right.
We've had a lot of migration here, and I even saw a funny TikTok about how the snowbirds aren't going home this year, which might be bumming a lot of us out, myself included. So why is this happening? What's going on? James mentioned the scarcity in the marketplace. Econ 101, supply and demand. So basically taking it back to 101 economics principles, how supply and demand is affecting this real estate market, what to expect right now, and then what to expect in the future. So what can you do if you're trying to make moves in this market? Is it the right time for you to sell? Is it the right time for you to hang on? We are bringing in Ted Jones, who's a national speaker. He's an economist, a PhD. He's with Stewart Title, which is one of our biggest underwriters at our title agency.
Okay.
And so he's coming April 26th, 1 o'clock. We're hosting the event at the Greater Tampa Realtors Auditorium. That location is right off of Kennedy, across from University of Tampa.
Okay.
Everyone is invited to join us. Come check out this event, hear it from the experts. Like I always say on the show, I stay in my lane.
Right.
I'm not an economist. I'm barely a mathematician. So come and hear it from one of the experts. If you're not sure, get that information, educate yourself, and that way you can make that informed decision.
Boy, it can't hurt to learn more about this because you can protect yourself and figure out ways to ensure that this kind of thing won't happen to you, because as Jennie has mentioned, it creates, first of all, you're just stunned. Someone stole your house. What are you talking about? Where do you go? Could you imagine the story she relayed earlier about this poor woman? A third party ended up taking her property. How does that, this is currently playing out, right? This is a real story.
So it has played itself out all of the way. And the person that committed this crime against this woman that I mentioned, she did it to multiple people. Oh. The state of Florida brought charges against her, so it ended up being a state level crime. There were so many parties for each different address that was included in this lawsuit. She did get criminal charges against her. The last time I checked, she was presently in jail.
Okay.
And the rightful homeowners did have their rights restored, but the original woman from this story, she was homeless for about 9 months. Oof. And I believe it took 3 years before I saw the corrective deed recorded where title reverted back to her.
How about that? So you can imagine, as it sounds new to you and I, listening to the radio or watching here on the YouTube channel, it's also new to the court system and law enforcement, and everyone out there is kind of getting a feel for what this is and what are the signs, what are indicators, how can we tell whether this is a legitimate transaction or not. So people are learning about this because it's more prevalent.
And you can stay aware of it too if you follow us on Facebook. So if you go to @Insured Title on Facebook, follow our Facebook page, like our page. Whenever stories come up in the Tampa Bay area, that's where they're posted. And I give you some insight into what has happened. That's also where you can find information about how to register for our event on April 26th. If you go to our events page on our Facebook. And basically, these things are happening. Mm-hmm. So you can choose to be aware of them or choose not to be. Hopefully you never become a victim of something like that. And then really, unfortunately, it takes a significant number of victims to build up before lawmakers are then encouraged to do something about it.
So like most things, we're encouraging you to be proactive. We want you to take an active role in protecting yourself, because this can become quite a winding trail that you need to unwind, and it can be very difficult to find the parties involved in this because, again, they're hiding behind the internet. You don't know to see these people.
Certainly, wire fraud is kind of related to that. So once this fraudulent sale is concluded, money is transferred, it's wiped out of that account immediately.
Wow. I've heard you talk in the past about wire transfers and being heads up and making sure you have the person actively ready for that to receive that wire transfer, so that you're having communication with that party.
Correct. If you're doing any real estate transaction, wiring instructions should only come from the title company, not your real estate agent, not anyone else. If there's a transaction coordinator, not the other real estate agent, none of those people should be sending you wiring instructions. And no matter what, even if you just hung up the phone with that title agency and they said, we're sending you the wiring instructions, whether it's a secured message or a text message, go to your financial institution, call from the bank floor, because most of the time you're going to have to initiate this wire transfer in person. And that's not to inconvenience you, that's to protect you.
Right.
And call us and confirm. Confirm.
All right, Jennie Restrepo, Insured Title Agency. One more time on the event, Jen.
April 26th, 1 o'clock. Go to our Facebook page at Insured Title to register.
Thanks so much for coming in. I want to thank Millicent Athanason for taking time out of her day. Of course, Jose back there running the buttons, and John in here on the show. Everybody listening and checking out our YouTube channel or checking out ConsumerQB.com. I want to thank you so much. Thank you for Brandon giving me the opportunity to host when he's not around. Check us out, the Consumer Quarterback Show.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.